Cancel this podcast. 7 key Archetypes employees dish dirt on Meg for unpaid wages. She didn't pay us. Meg trembles as key 7 employees of Archetypes dish dirt on her. Meghan Markle's podcast project faced significant setbacks when 7 key employees resigned over unpaid salaries. The Duchess of Sussex's attempt to trademark the podcast name Archetypes began last March, but was rejected by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO, in January due to potential confusion with the existing trademark of the same name. The word prototype or archetype was registered by the U.S.-based company Miracle IP Project in May 2018. The source revealed that Meghan was unable to cover the costs of competing brands and is currently having to face financial constraints even in maintaining operations at Archwell Studios. This morning, core employees including Harrison Colliard, Beth, Harley, Claire Laughlin, Sean, Annette Miranda Barbat, SEK and Serena Regan had their positions removed at Archwell Studios over salary issues. Critics expressed sympathy for those who invested time and effort in fighting for trademark registration and accused Meghan of using lawyers to intimidate opponents. They also speculate about Meghan's financial troubles, suggesting a possible divorce from Prince Harry as her investments decline. She uses lawyers to threaten and force people to submit, and I'm glad she didn't succeed this time, but Harry is still at a small company and didn't even see it happening. It's possible that Meghan Markle will divorce Prince Harry of the Sussexes when her investments dry up. He spent $100,000 on PR at the Invictus Games alone. That must be why she was so crazy that she spent every penny of that money on herself. It seems like all Archwell ever does is attach its name to actual charitable efforts to appear legitimate, then spend 95% of its revenue on itself. It only spends roughly 5% on the charity. Currently, the fact that Harry is no longer helping Meghan implicitly implies that property division and divorces are taking place. The pair's multi-million-pound Spotify contract was terminated in June after their Archetypes podcast failed to produce enough content to pay in full, and Spotify chief executive Bill Simmons claimed that they had broken contract. Despite the podcast challenges, Meghan's efforts to revive the trademark bid were documented by the USPTO even after the Spotify deal was canceled. However, the app has now been withdrawn after an unsuccessful 17-month battle to defend its podcast title. The Archetypes podcast has only released 12 episodes but has already attracted around 11 million weekly listeners, even though its ranking dropped significantly on the US Spotify chart by the 10th episode. Meanwhile, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, and his wife Meghan Markle have received a lifestyle warning days after they were spotted rubbing shoulders with Hollywood stars at a charity event. Royal expert Russell Myers told Sky News that Meghan and Harry may be pursuing funding to take on new projects as the royal couple needs a lot of money to maintain their long-distance lifestyle. Beloved parents Archie and Lilibet made a surprise appearance at Kevin Costner's 1 to 8:05 live event for first responders last week, with Ellen, Oprah, and others also in attendance at the event. Russell Myers says we haven't seen much of Meghan in recent months. Of course, we've seen quite a few instances of Harry returning for the coronation alone and then returning just a few weeks ago after the late Queen's departure. But what awaits those two? We see that they need to make a lot of money to maintain their California lifestyle. He also said that Meghan and Harry's joint appearance means that they could be coming up with something new when chatting with Hollywood bigwigs. So I'm waiting and watching to see what they do next.